Hello and welcome to another video. Before we start, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone who's subbed to the channel. Just passed over 3,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I put out a video every week, and if you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is by buying a map. Have you enjoyed my map videos and you want to get a copy of your very own map? Well, now you can. I've started a brand new website called oddartworks.com. Here you can download all my prompts for free, purchase a digital version of each of the maps, or buy a limited edition A3 print on high quality paper, which I'll ship anywhere around the world. Each high quality A3 print is signed and numbered, and once all 250 are gone, they're gone for good. I'm only doing limited editions of the monthly maps. If you would like to purchase one or a digital copy, this really is a great way to support the channel and allows me to continue to make videos. So please visit oddartworks.com and get your very own map today. Alright, on with the video. Okay, let's get to another random mini dungeon. I'm not sure why I show this part because you know what it is, but anyway, I rolled a 14, which means on the prompt list, which we're getting through at a reasonable pace now, we are doing the Haunted Library. Okay, let's see what we get. So for our entrance, we got a barricaded entrance. So somebody's trying to keep something in there. That's exciting. So let's see what else we get. For our two special things, we've got haunted books and an ancient librarian. Okay, let's see what else we end up with. For our unusual stuff, we get an ornate window and a book golem. Okay, that's very interesting. Quite excited about designing a book golem. Less so about an ornate window. For our regular things, we've got ghosts, possessed books, and old candles. So ghosts, very important for a haunted library, so glad we got that one. And finally, for our exit, we got a secret exit. A secret exit in a library. Okay, that sounds very intriguing. Alright, it's a decent amount of stuff to get going, so let's see what we end up doing. So as always, I did a little isometric plan of bookcases mostly to show where they went, and I started straight away on that barricaded door, very quickly doing handles and putting bits of wood through them and everything, and yeah, I felt like starting with this is a good way to go. I've noticed I start with the entrance to all these things actually, which is interesting, but yeah. And an important warning sign on the front of it there, just in case anyone decides to ignore the nailed on pieces of wood to the wall, the door rather. So yeah, I found this particular dungeon to be fraught with technical issues. I had camera issues, I had scanner issues, connecting to my computers before I could scan it in and colour it. Got it sorted at the end, but it took a bit longer than I feel like it should, so I feel like maybe my process for this one was a bit cursed or haunted, but either way, I'm quite pleased with what came out of it, which is good. So yeah, I wasn't particularly looking forward to the haunted library because I struggled to think how I could put a monster in it, but as you can see, I went straight to the book golem. Hadn't really got a plan. I knew I just wanted to be a big hulking thing, so I decided to do a thing made of books and a bookshelf, and actually wielding a bookshelf as a weapon, with plinths for legs and a weird scroll kind of bolted to the side of it. So yeah, weirdly I was quite pleased with the design of this. I don't know if anyone's ever done a book golem before, you know, I'm sure if somebody knows, let me know in the comments, but yeah, I think this is certainly a first for me, but yeah, good fun nonetheless. I think I went a little bit to town on the details with him. I gave him kind of scrolls for fingers and things like that, and you'll see later on I struggled with trying to make him stand out a little bit. I did in the end, but like for the longest time I was a bit worried that he'd get a bit lost in the background, because I ended up putting quite a lot of detail into this, more so than normal, which you'll see as we get through it. And so the grayscale section, which normally brings the whole thing to life, did have to do a lot of heavy lifting this time around. So yeah, it was an interesting one, this. Like I said, fraught with technical issues. But anyway, here we go. So I decided to give him like a crystal ball in his chest. Maybe that's what animates him. if you remove the crystal ball, doubt that he would let you. Maybe that like makes everything fall apart. But yeah, I knew one of the key things with this will be lots and lots of books, so setting those kind of rules so anything that's not a book will look quite interesting and exciting, so, or trying to present books in different kind of ways. So yeah, then I moved down to my first bookshelf. So it was all about making sure I get those candles in there. Old candles, I think, was one of the prompts, and ghosts, so really wanted them. And I think for the longest time I was trying to work out the difference between a possessed book and a haunted book. So I think I decided these books that are kind of like floating are possessed books, and I do a haunted book later on, which is the idea that I think that you just have a spirit trapped in a book. Or maybe it's backwards, maybe those are the haunted books. I don't know. It's up to you lot to decide, so yeah. Whenever I do bookshelves, I always make sure not to do all the books like straight. If I look at my bookshelves, they're all over the place really. If there's a slight gap, they always lean to one side, so I always try and get that across when I'm doing these sort of bookshelves, because I think I've done a few kind of shelves. I know the Wizard's Tower had a few, and I'm sure the Tavern had some. So yeah, I think I'm getting quite good at doing bookshelves. The other thing was I didn't want this library to be pristine and clean, so there's books and notes and all sorts on the floor. I was kind of thinking about the narrative going through it, and if maybe the ghosts are looking for something, and they don't know what, and they don't know the Dewey Decimal System, so they're just having to go through every single bookshelf. So yeah, and it's always fun drawing ghosts. They're quite simple, but they are quite satisfying to draw, weirdly. Make sure I had lots of wax dripping off the candles. On the first bookcase, I did a puddle on the top and underneath it, because I feel like if you're going to have ghosts in a library, you have to have ectoplasm. I know it wasn't a prompt, but it's like an unwritten law that if you're doing ghosts in a museum or library, there has to be slime or ectoplasm or something. So that's what that is. So it's quite important to get that in there. If Ghostbusters taught me anything, it was that. So yeah, just getting all the books in there, kind of sorting all that out, getting all the detail in. And here's where I decided I was going to do the big kind of haunted or possessed book. I can't decide which. The idea that it's broken, it's been chained up and it's broken free, and this ghost has kind of popped out. And with all the other books kind of floating by, this guy's finally free. Who knows how long he's been trapped in there, but he's finally free, and he's maybe the instigator. Maybe him breaking free is what's caused all the rest of the chaos in the library. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get the idea across that this is a mess. It's been barricaded for a reason. People aren't to go near it until some kind of ghost hunter or adventurer comes along to deal with the crisis that's going on in this particular library. I imagine it's in some kind of wealthy person's keep, or it could be part of a town library. Who knows? It's up to whoever's going to put this in their adventure. So yeah, repetition of kind of shape and form makes this kind of work pretty well. So getting all those books and notes on the floor, it does make it super detailed, so it does mean that your colour work has to do an awful lot of the work, which is not something I like to do. I like to kind of have the image look relatively readable at the black and white stage. But it's good to try something a bit different. I think this particular thing worked reasonably well, but like I have done things like this in the past where I've just thought, it's too cluttered, too much of a mess, but this went okay. Alright, moving on to the Ancient Librarian. So yeah, I just kind of wanted this person to maybe be a bit of a ghost as well, so we'll have to see how that kind of turned out and what's going on next with that. Yeah, so I like the idea that the librarian's taking notes, like maybe making a note of all the mess that the ghosts are making, and maybe thinking about sending the book golem out to get rid of anybody, to catch anybody who's got late fees or anything like that. The ornate window, I did not enjoy at all, and to be honest, I'd completely forgotten about it. So I kind of just came up with this very simple, rounded top with kind of, I don't know, nice kind of spiderweb-like shape in it, I suppose. So yeah, that was essentially that. And then I thought about that back wall. getting all the bricks in the right place, and then again it's this repetition of shape and form which kind of sells the idea that anything that's kind of not that shape or form suddenly is quite interesting. And this is where I realised that the book golem is maybe not going to stand out as much as I would like. And then I couldn't forget about the secret entrance and exit type thing, so I thought, why not the old sliding bookcase thing? I know it's a cliche, but it was good fun to put it in there. So yeah, really happy I got that in. And then just the brickwork, just carrying on with brickwork. It's not super exciting, not a lot to say about it. You've seen me do it like 100 times at this point. But yeah, it's just one of those things that helps sell it. You know, the odd little crack here and there, a couple of little lines, a couple of dots, makes it seem like old stone, and then we're good. And then just filling in that last bookcase. And then it's a case of putting my signature on and scanning it in, which turned into way more of an endeavour than it should have been. You know, trying to get that scanner to connect to my computer was a nightmare, but we got there in the end. So here's the scan. Pretty pleased with it. Didn't have to fix too much, you know. So when I put it into the template I use, I just made the darks darker. I got rid of a couple of errant pencil lines that were there, but really didn't have to fix a lot, which was kind of nice. Maybe I'm getting better at these. Then my 3 tones of grey, so that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting this time. By leaving the ghosts completely white, that kind of really makes them stand out, but still felt that Golem was getting a bit lost. So my colours, I went a bit heavier with my base colours to make things stand out a bit more. So much happier with this. I wanted a difference between the outside the library and inside the library. So I added my effects. I've got kind of a nice orange glow on the candles, green, and kind of glowy ghosts and things in the library. And I did one extra thing that I don't normally do. So I added a kind of a rim light to a couple of things, particularly the book golem, to make them stand out, and I was really pleased I did that. I also added like an orange light on the outside of the library to the bricks and the door. And then that's our title, and we call it good. I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. Probably took a couple of hours to draw this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, like and subscribe, share it, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, folks. Have a good one.